We live in a culture that is falling apart, and a culture begins to decay when the way people treat each other changes and when the values that once seemed obvious no longer do. Respect is replaced by contempt. People don't simply disagree anymore. The other person becomes the enemy, an idiot, or a morally bad person. Relationships are increasingly judged by what they can provide or what we can get from them. Reliability is disappearing. A person's word means less. Promises are easier to break. Responsibility is passed on someone else. And personal advantage comes first. Basic decency is seen as weakness. Being considerate, saying hello, saying thank you, letting someone go first, or helping someone without expecting anything in return suddenly feels old fashioned. Everything is becoming transactional. Our time, our relationships, our attention, and even our sense of self worth are measured by performance, money, or usefulness. More and more, a person is reduced to what they produce or what they own. Shared standards are disappearing. A society can be made up of completely different people. That isn't the problem. The problem begins when we can't even agree anymore on what honesty, responsibility, dignity, or fairness mean. And perhaps the biggest sign of all is this: people are losing the feeling that they are responsible for one another. Our culture doesn't have to be perfect. It can change. It can correct its mistakes and leave old structures behind. But when more and more people start thinking, why should I care about anyone else? As long as I make it through myself, society loses something that laws, technology, or wealth can never replace. And this is the world we live in. I started over again. I want to give something to the world. I want to build something for myself that other people can benefit from, and something that also brings me joy. Something that has real value. But the truth is, nobody seems to care about what I have to give. And sometimes I wonder if wanting to build something new, wanting to give something genuine to the world and to other people is the biggest mistake I've ever made. I wonder if it's even foolish. Sometimes I seriously wonder where my life is supposed to go from here. And sometimes I wonder if I'm trying to accomplish something that simply isn't possible. Does it even make sense anymore to want to give something to a culture that is falling apart, to a society that has become so corrupted? All of this can be observed. Pretending otherwise would feel dishonest to me. We live in a time when personal advantage and individual well being are often valued more highly than loyalty, responsibility, and lasting connection. But we live today, not in a better past and not in some better future. A better world can only emerge if the people who are living today plant the seeds for it today. When someone says, I can't change the world, what difference could I possibly make? They are handing responsibility over to someone else. But change doesn't begin somewhere far away. It begins wherever we have influence ourselves. Everyone can change something within their own surroundings. Take a friendship seriously. Be sincere with another person. Listen instead of immediately judging. Show understanding instead of simply pushing your own needs. In the end, the better world is always right there in front of us, buried beneath indifference, selfishness, and cynicism, but not gone. People have to start taking the first steps. When many ordinary people take many small steps, a great deal can be accomplished. That's not some worn-out cliché. It's an old saying that contains a lot of wisdom. And perhaps this is also part of enjoy life every day. Not waiting for the world to become better before we allow ourselves to enjoy our own life, but contributing something today to make the world a little more livable for ourselves and for others. We can't change everything, but we can decide how we treat other people. And that is where the better world begins. Not someday. It begins where we live today. If you've been having similar thoughts, feel free to leave a comment. I read everyone, and I love to have you back for the next video.